The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everyone. Welcome to tonight's INFINii call. Just first of all, my name is Ken Eggleston. I'm a Vice President of Global Sales for INFINii, and it is an absolute pleasure to be on with you here this evening. First of all, tonight we're going to go over the INFINii business model. For those of you that have been invited here for the first time, I'll tell you that you've never experienced anything like what you're about to see here. It is truly unprecedented as far as an opportunity as a whole. And we hear that so often today, but this is truly a dynamic change in the industry, and I think each one of you are going to realize as we go through this that not only within the home-based business industry, but technology as a whole, revolution is happening, and all of us recognize that we live in an unprecedented period of change, and it's never happened before. I mean, we see our phones going out of date every 6 months with new upgrades, so history is really condensing, and of course we see all the industries, economies shifting, and technology simply taking place and replacing much of the old way people made money. Around the globe, we know that people are struggling to earn a living within the new economy, and we see that happening everywhere. So, when I look out at this picture here, there's a reason I picked it, is that, it truly gives the feeling of what so many people today, especially adults that are anywhere between 30 to 50 years of age, are feeling, because they're struggling to find their way. College degrees are no guarantee for anything except debt anymore. CNN Money is talking about a global economy with the Titanic problem, and there's a reason they chose the word Titanic as far as the ill-fated luxury cruise liner that sunk in the early 1900s, and they're sending a pretty clear message by that. We know that in the U.S. alone, you've got over 1 million bankruptcies filed in 2013, and that number hasn't really dropped every year. The Euro unemployment is going off the charts. We've seen with the refugee situation going in, economies are just getting disrupted, and some of them within the Euro demographic are up to 45% on the unemployment, especially striking the younger generation. We've got 600 million jobs being required in the next decade at a minimum, and we got over 200 million out of work, according to the International Labor Association. And of course, if we look back at the U.S., which has had a long-term, stable middle-class economy, it's shrinking. Matter of fact, they're showing now that the U.S. middle-class wage worker has only had a 6% increase in wages since the late 70s, and we wonder why so many things are happening. So the same period of time, the middle class in developing countries aren't staying stable for long, and they're already back in a major shrink mode. Now, we talk about all those issues to recognize, as we all know, that for every door that closes or every downturn, there is always an upturn if you're willing to position yourself properly. For every dying economic empire, a new one is born. We've seen that always throughout history, into the Industrial Revolution and now into the IT world. And one of my favorite quotes is from The Origin of Species, and is not the fittest that survive, but those who are most adaptable to change that thrive. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. I want to talk to you and talk to those individuals that are out there tonight to find out who the adapters are. And adapters are people that recognize that we're in a completely new world. Let's talk about Uber for a second. Folks, I just turned 50 in August. I couldn't have even imagined. Matter of fact, I took my first Uber ride recently. Couldn't imagine that there would be a day where you'd have a company that doesn't own a single taxi be the largest vehicle provider for transportation and be valued at $50 billion without owning any physical vehicles. I mean, just absolute brilliance, and founded in 2009. Look over at Airbnb, the largest accommodation provider launched in 2008, market value of $25.5 billion, according to CNN Money. Compare that to Hilton, hotels, which we all, know for a long-standing thing. They've been around since the 50s, and they're valued out at about $19 billion. Technology is taking over everything, and that really brings us to the discussion of INFINii and where you can capitalize on the next mega trend if, the question is, if you are ready to do so. And, this is kind of like that picture that I want to put in your mind right here. And here's how it's affecting the world of retail. We all recognize it. Walmart, Target, Macy's, Sears, Best Buy, all of them are going ahead, and no matter Black Fridays or whatever they do, we're seeing decreased sales across the board. But there's an industry game at work, and while things are shutting down in one sector, the global economy is exploding, and that's where Amazon.com comes into play. Look at that, 117% increase in Amazon.com. We don't even have to look over at eBay, and their performance is absolutely off the chart. We can talk about all the different ones, and everything online is moving in that area. So over $300 billion in U.S. currency in combined sales during 2014 occurred in Amazon, eBay, Google, and Facebook. That is a massive trend, and it's growing by 15 to 20% every year. So imagine, though, just imagine for a second, if you could capture what these companies do and actually have them working for you. And that's what I want to go through with you tonight, is how you can do that. And when you find the magic key that allows you to insert a situation and provide an answer, is when you have an explosive situation on your hands for growth and a business opportunity. So these companies, and what I'm about to go over with you, you'll see we're finding customers, processing payments, delivering products, and customer support is all handled for you. Now, this huge shift is taking place from offline to online, and it's giving us all the opportunity I'm talking about here tonight. Many major brands are rapidly making the move to online. We're all aware of it. We see it with Amazon, we see it with Overstock, Google, Kmart. All of them are launching their affiliate links. We get it. Everybody understands it. And if you live anywhere near a populated area, you've seen the FedEx trucks and UPSs run up and down the streets dropping off products everywhere, and it's not changing. You've now got Amazon mega stores, or I shouldn't say mega stores, mega warehouses, where they're planning 2-hour delivery to facilitate into crowded areas. So we know e-commerce is now a $1 trillion global industry, and we know it's created and continuing to create unbelievable opportunities for profit. So in the U.S., we're talking $349 billion. Canada, $27 billion. France, $43 billion. UK, $99 billion. Germany, $62 billion. China, $672 billion. Korea, $39 billion. Japan, $90 billion. I could just continue on and on with all the different numbers and keep populating all different areas. So this is a global change that's happening everywhere. So the research firm eMarketer projects global e-commerce sales will actually eclipse 3.5 trillion within the next few years alone. It doesn't take anybody to be an economist to recognize that if you can participate in that funnel, you're going to go ahead and do something amazing. So the question that INFINii wants to ask you tonight is, how much of that 3.5 trillion that's about to come down the pipeline would you like? The INFINii model, you ask the question, or you decide the answer, I should say, and we'll provide the tools to make it happen. So our system allows you to generate profits with no inventory. Now, this is key. For those of you business minds out there, think of what it takes to go into business. Think of what it takes to join the average, let's just take the average home-based business or network marketing company out there, where you're usually putting down a substantial amount of money to get the inventory sent to you. You've got the inventory. They want you to go out and give it to people. It can be a nightmare. So with our system, there's no inventory. There's no upfront costs. Very key. There's no traffic generation, there's no shipping and management, and the INFINii model is already proven to the tune of $2.5 billion in sales through its members in its first 2 years. That's a major issue. So I stop at this picture right here because this isn't a startup company. This is a company who actually launched a subsidiary of itself, called DS Domination, launched that subsidiary, fine-tuned the program, and through its e-commerce members that came on board and began this. Now, this picture's just a couple months old. September of 2013 they started, and I just made this picture just a couple months ago, and we're already at 2.5 billion. And the members, and this is the key, look at the bottom line, the member profits through their e-commerce things are $380 million. You can see all the people on those stages with those checks, and I'm going to introduce you to a young man that was on that stage with the second largest check here momentarily, so make sure to stand by. If you're ready for a better way, this is what I want to talk to you about right now. So our systems are unlike anything else in the world. It's simple, it's automated, a way to profit using Amazon, Google, eBay, and Facebook. Plus, we have many other facets coming on. This isn't just about an arbitrage business. We've got so many different pieces that are coming on online with the company as a whole over the coming months. It'll just absolutely blow your mind. And this isn't talking about spending hours a day on technical tasks. Look, guys, I said it before. I'm 50, turned 50 in August. I didn't grow up in the computer generation, so this had to be a business that was comfortable for me to get on without having to be a computer expert. I mean, if I have a problem with the computer, I call the kid over and ask me to fix it. So the idea is that you don't have to be, and you also don't have to become a marketing expert to get any of this done, and you don't have to chase family and friends, because everybody already gets this. You're not going to them and say, hey, I need you to try this weight loss pill or this face cream or this shake for weight loss or anything like that. You're talking to them about a global e-commerce thing that everybody wants to find out about. And with INFINii, you can add quality to your life, and I say this all the time, by using your smartphone, tablet, or laptop if you dedicated just 60 minutes of your day to it. The amount of time that you waste watching a sitcom rerun or reality show, you can set yourself free financially with this. So let's dive in and talk about the way this really works. And of course, I remember when I was on with our founder and CEO, and I was going through this, and he said, Ken, let me kind of walk you through how you make money using a monkey on there. And I remember looking back at Hitesh and hearing this. I'm like saying, okay, obviously he's just giving me a hard time with this. And he said, no, I want you to pay attention to the monkey. Here's a monkey on Amazon for $8.96. Now I'm going to take that through the INFINii platform. We're going to go ahead and get everything handled. And that same eBay, or that same monkey on eBay, is selling for $17.98. And so I'm following him along. I go, okay. So that results in a $9.02 profit minus the fees that you have for it. And I was like, okay, all right, that seems reasonable, but I'm not one that's going to shop from one site to the other. And he goes, exactly, and neither do 99% of other consumers. They don't shop. But the simple thing is you're providing this and you end up generating the profits. So it's that easy. You can literally make an incredible profit margin from a monkey. Well, myself, coming from traditional network marketing of over 20 years, I kind of scratched my head, and I said, okay, I see the model, but I wasn't getting real excited yet. And he said, okay, let's change this around a little bit. Look over at AliExpress, and those of you who are familiar with Alibaba and all, it's even larger than Amazon over in Asia, and we can see a very nice flip leather mobile phone cover, and we can see that that's $3.52. Well, a very similar one is selling on Amazon for $28.99. Now you're starting to talk about a little bit of a price difference, similar products with same features, so that's a $25.47 profit minus fees. And so if you could start to generate that type of profit on each individual sale, that intrigued me a little more. And then the next piece that Hitesh was saying, well, how about as you go and you can actually scan and sell? How many of the ladies that you know love to go shopping? And I said, well, quite a few of them. Because imagine if they could go shopping, scan items that you find at stores, and they could sell it on Amazon and have a blast in the process and make money. I said, okay, that seems good. So here, the product you found is $24.85. It's selling on Amazon for $39.50. You see a profit of $14.65. Just while going through doing some shopping. I think almost anybody could handle that. So when we look at the INFINii income potential, we just went over the Amazon eBay comparison on the monkey, the $9.02 difference. We went over the international site. And then the spread on their product to the Amazon product, $25.47. We did the shop and scan at $14.65. So I had a total profit on those three things of $49.14. And then imagine if you did that same thing times 50 listings with those same spreads. That's $2,470 on those things minus the Amazon fees. That would be $2,150 for the month. Folks, the average person could avoid bankruptcy if they had an additional $500 per month. So do you think $2,000 a month could change people's lives? I'd say hell yeah to that, but more importantly, the idea is let people have the ability to get themselves financially free and start paying off debt, and that is huge. So that system right there is something that always has intrigued me and interested me with regards to the way this was able to work. So after I was able to really go through this, I understood a little bit more, but I didn't see the real big picture. And Hitesh asked me to come out to an event, and I was sitting at the event, and suddenly I saw a young man that I knew before. And on this screen, you can see on the left side, this is Jim looking polished in front of his BMW, and on the right side was his earnings for last year alone using the e-commerce platform. Now, Jim is 27 years old. We've known each other a number of years. Matter of fact, a previous company that I was in as vice president, Jim was there as well. And I've always seen the kid have a tenacity for work. But when I saw him walk the stage, and over the course of 18 months grow his income the way he's done, it was absolutely incredible. So I'm going to see if Jim's on with us right now, because this young man is doing it. There are people that you'll hear out there in the industry that go, well, I don't have time for e-commerce and all that. If you have an old timer saying something like that to you who's been in network marketing, you know that they're missing the boat. So I don't know about you, but $650,000 in e-commerce is pretty substantial. And by the way, this year, this young man will be well over $1 million just in the e-commerce. So Jim Chao, are you on with me, man?
Hey, Ken, I'm here. Thanks for the introduction.
No, man, it's absolute pleasure, and I was glad you could make it tonight. So, Jim, we've got everybody kind of asking the question, like I did initially. Okay, so there was the monkey, and I remember you laughing about that. So here's the monkey with a little bit of dollar spread. All right, here's the phone flip and everything else I just went through, and you can see how the money's there, but it's hard for people to equate small numbers to the size check you have. Do me a favor, tell us how you did it and the process it went through.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, just a couple of corrections. Actually 28 now, and the other correction was last year I've actually done close to $3 million in sales in e-commerce, running at about 50% profit margin. So this is a little bit outdated, but anyways, for when I first...
so Jim, what you're telling me now is that you're buying dinner the next time we see each other.
Blue Moon.
All right, brother. Blue Moon it is. with an orange wedge. I got you, man.
Exactly. Old times. Good old inside joke. But I've been inside network marketing since I was 18 years old, and being someone who I've been able to make a comfortable six-figure income since I was 21. So coming from that position, when I first dive into or even hear about e-commerce back in 2014, I was, I had a little bit of an ego, and why would I want to, work for a few dollar profit? And then 8 months in, I start realizing the potential of exponential growth and the power of stacking products. So I dive in towards a middle, start learning about e-commerce from scratch. Have never sold any products, physical products online then, and I start start making sales towards the end of 2014. Wasn't that long ago, and I had items that I sourced for $2 and I sell retail online for $20, and they start selling 50 times a day, they start selling 100 times a day. Then I stack on items that I source for $10 and I sell for $40, and they start selling over 100 times a day. And one item stacks on another, and when I stack on a new item, the old item is still selling 50 times a day, still selling 100 times a day. And I had days up to Thanksgiving of last year, I sold over 1,700 units in one day, and every single sale, you're talking about $10, $20 profit, and that just stacks up to a rate that I couldn't have comprehend even a year ago. So for me, coming from as a network marketer, didn't understand e-commerce, and when I start seeing the small results and they multiply, and what I saw as a side income, honestly, my initial goal back when I started e-commerce in mid-2014, I just wanted to make an additional 100,000 profit a year to kind of side income to spend, but that has obviously done much better in that since. So kind of rambling a little bit, but if I have one thing to say is definitely don't overlook e-commerce. I mean, as you look at all the retailers going down, if you look at an average person's buyer habit, even right now when I buy as simple as toilet papers, if I don't need it tonight, okay, I would just order online. Why would I want to go to the store and then carry the goods up to my place when I can just order online and they deliver right to my door? We're seeing Amazon Fresh. People don't even want to buy groceries anymore. They just want to order, and everything will be free labor carrying in front of your door. It's just so much time efficient. So if you listen to this webinar right now, just think about your buying patterns 10 years ago compared to the last 5 years, compared to the last year. Are you shopping online more and more? Well, if you are, guess what? The whole world is also. So if you're not selling, you're missing out.
Jim, when everybody sees you sitting there holding that check, and of course, that was INFINii's subsidiary, DS Domination. And now with INFINii and the global spread that we've done with opening into 70 different countries and taking that e-commerce model but bolting a full network marketing compensation plan on it, a 70% payout to the field. I mean, obviously, you are not only now going to have this massive e-commerce profit, but you've also, got one of the largest teams that's growing within the company already into the thousands. So, you're going to need to get, I think, a couple CPAs, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. I actually do have 4 accountants working between. I started stacking companies on selling stuff on e-commerce because I didn't want to stack on my put all my eggs in one basket. So I'm actually running 7 different LLCs selling online right now and stacking as we speak.
Well, Jim, you know what? I'm going to have you on some of our trainings and also jumping back on with me on some Saturday trainings and bring you back on if you don't mind in the future again. And I'm so appreciative you took the time to jump on here with us tonight so that the people looking at INFINii for the first time could understand that although this is, they hear INFINii and they think it's a brand new company, this is really a startup opportunity, but yet it's not a startup company. It's just, we've gone ahead and taking that massive step. So, brother, I appreciate you, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Ken.
All right, man. So, guys, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's just, impressive as anything I can imagine. And, of course, as we talk about, sometimes, getting frozen up on your computer, things happen. So my screen just froze, and I'm locked up. That's always nice. So, Jim, it looks like, everybody's just going to sit here and be able to look at you for the next minute here.
Sounds like you're playing on purpose. While you're fixing this, I do like to make a point about on the network marketing side. We talked a lot about on the e-commerce side of massive earning potential, and that's really the culture of this company. As you see on this webinar, we really don't jump on a webinar and just go over comp plans and the earning. Although there is a massive earning potential on the comp plan, which Ken is about to present, I think the power of it, I know for me being in the industry for the last 10 years, my biggest struggle ever with any other companies has always been retention. People don't stick with auto ships, they cancel. The big difference with INFINii would be people they sign onto your platform because they want to make money from home doing e-commerce. It's not people don't sign up just to recruit and do all these things. And what it end up doing is people jump on and they start making money on the e-commerce side month after month, and there are fees and platforms that will help members to make sales on e-commerce. They end up sticking on the membership. So what you typically see here in INFINii is a much higher retention rate. So as you understand comp plan later, keep in mind that there is no comp plan's one thing, but retention rate is something that's never discussed in PDF, and that's one major advantage we have here in INFINii.
You know, Jim, you're so right, man. And thankfully, my IT side has been able to switch the page. So it looks like we're going forward, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Got it.
All right, man. So, you know, let's talk about your dream business, folks. You're sitting on here taking a look at this, and, you know, all the other opportunities out there. If you're looking for a home-based business, you see that there's nothing like this out there. You know, you have to go ahead and bother your friends, family, and other people with this. This is completely different. If you're thinking about a franchise, then, you know, what you want to do on that is also remember that the expense that goes into it. So, you know, we make your own hours in this thing. Video and live training, all this is included, being updated right now and added to, and the community just keeps growing. You got no boss. You know, this is what you get into. And, you know, as we were talking about before, with the first level of this, we literally opened the door to how to do all of this. And you heard what Jim was talking about on there. And he just started up back in 2014, folks. That's just like 2 years ago, really starting to move through this. So you've got Prime, the first level membership, to introduce yourself to this at just $49.95 is the monthly fee for this. And creating eBay account, selecting items to sell. You can look at the long list under here, managing sales, post-sale customer support. You look at all these different things that Prime helps you support and do for this. And folks, there isn't any other additional fee. There isn't the startup cost that you see that's literally, you know, $1,000, $2,000 for the training alone in these platforms, and the amount of money that's been spent by INFINii, first on their subsidiary that we saw before, DS Domination. Now the INFINii platform's massive, and you can walk into this and start gaining it for just $49.95 a month. That really is a level for the person just kind of wants to tiptoe in. We've got a level called Surge. This, to me, if I was starting out, this is the area that I really like, because it allows me to come in, get everything that's in the Prime, but also get the advanced e-commerce training, you know, for the boosting of traffic, learn how to do all this. So I get everything that's in Prime, plus I get all this from Surge on the advanced analytics, the master eBay with expert strategies, you know, maximizing profitability with keywords, all the different pieces here. And that's just $149.95 a month, and you're able to do that. Again, no product package startup fees. So this really has been designed in a perfect way to fit whatever you want to do. And Excel is obviously the crown. It's the cream of the crop, and that's $399.95 per month. But again, understand the capability of what you can do and get on and accomplish online if you have the things. Now, this gives you everything that's in Prime, everything that's in Surge, and all of this additional stuff in Excel. But again, you're never going to find us pushing, like most companies say, hey, you got to come in at the top level if you're going to be serious about this. Folks, if you're serious about it, I recommend Surge for entry. If you're experienced with the computer and you understand online analytics and you've done some selling online and all that, you maybe have a better potential than I did when I first looked at this, and you want to come in directly at Excel. That makes sense for you. But, you know, go where you're comfortable with doing it. But what you will find, within 90 days to 120 days, you'll be up at the Excel level because you'll be making the money. So, you know, how do you get started with us in INFINii? Well, number one, to actually participate in what we call a rewards plan, it's just a simple $9.95 a month partner fee. That's it. Just $9.95 a month to participate in the business. Now we have our customer side, and you know the customer fee, and everybody's a customer, is what we just went over: the Prime, the Surge, and the Excel monthly. So you're literally just cost for doing the business, just $9.95 a month, and it opens up the entire rewards plan. And you have 7 different incredible ways to really be paid through this. Now, in the network marketing side, and we all know that network marketing is clearly a massive, massive money-producing machine for the home-based industry and for people that want to get serious about it. But it's important to know that e-commerce is already this massive success. Look at what Jim Chao, that we just had on here, accomplished with the e-commerce side. Now imagine bolting quite honestly, the best network marketing compensation structure into this, creating a rewards plan, and utilizing what we call a dual team or a two-team build. That's what we use on the front end to track your team profits. So number one, we already know your e-commerce profits. They're going to do, whatever it is, and it's no limit on how much money you can make as you go through this. Then you're going to get in here and start introducing other people to it. It could be just introducing customers, or it could be introducing people that are interested in the business. Now, when you go through that, then the next thing you're going to have is the accelerated beginner bonus. We have something in here that other companies don't have, that automatically you're able to get in here and qualify for up to an additional $1,000 per month as we run through this. Now, the accelerated dual team, which those of you that are familiar with the industry understand the dual team, two-team structure, that will pay you up to $50,000 a week if you introduce and build a team with us to help spread the word of INFINii. Now, that might sound like an insane amount of money to those of you that have not participated in this industry previously, but for those of you that have been in this industry a long time, you understand the power of what we're looking at as a product, and then you understand the strength of a dual team that can actually pay out up to $200,000 a month just on that. But now imagine if you took the dual team piece, and in addition to the dual team, you went ahead and added on a unilevel in the back end of it. So yes, this is a binary unilevel hybrid, and with that hybrid, you're able to not only make up to $50,000 a week on the dual team, but we've set this up so that you can literally make up to 5% on every level within a unilevel. Think about that. 5% of business volume on each personal enrollment line, but it's paid to infinity. So we blow the unilevel restriction completely out the door, and we turn this into an incredible profit center for you. Then 6, we introduce elevation bonuses, folks. Those are rank advancement bonuses totaling up to $10 million. So you might be saying to yourself, well, how can this company possibly afford to do all this? Well, it's very simple. The company actually pushes 70% of the global business volume into the field and takes only 30% for itself. Now, because of the size of the e-commerce avenue and the fact that there are always transaction fees and everything else, INFINii is going to be fine. But the dynamic answer here is consider just how big this is for those of you that build the teams. And then, of course, we have our global bonus pool that takes all the business volume globally and then pays out 4% of it into that pool. And then we have the golden hammock, which is the ultimate in a rewards platform that pays you on top of the elevation bonus and is actually a true retirement plan that allows you just to be paid for the value that you've created over the years. I haven't seen any other company ever do anything like it. Now, we also have INFINii training, and I'm talking to you experts out there that have been in this field for a long period of time, or for you out there that have that calling that you want to go ahead and help other people. Imagine that within this training platform, we've of course got video library, we've got eCommerce Masterclass, which is launching this next week. We've got Saturday morning trainings on the e-commerce and team building. We've got live training events, but this is the key right here. This Masterclass series. Imagine becoming an expert e-commerce person, and that's what we're looking for, because as INFINii is growing, and folks, you don't just launch a model as we did just a couple months ago and already put 60,000 plus people in and see the explosion of interest here and not recognize that by opening 70 countries, there's a real significant need around the globe to have trainers in front of the rooms. So we're going to go ahead and have you go through this, receive your expert training certificate course, but then we're honestly looking for INFINii trainers that are going to travel the world with us. So clearly there's going to be a great opportunity for people that want to step up and grab this and run with it and be part of this massive wave as we go around the globe many, many times over. So our question to you is, are you ready to profit with INFINii? If so, number one, contact the person who shared this presentation with you, or if you've got their website, just go jump on it and get enrolled. Two, select the platform that you're going to do. Again, any of the three. My personal recommendation to you is Surge at $149.95 because it has everything that's in Prime, but it has the pieces that you really need to do a business. And then once you really start understanding it all, you're going to quickly jump up to Excel. But now number three is kind of the thing you're really going to want to pay attention to real quick. Imagine qualifying for a $20,000 bonus in your first 90 days. That's pretty impressive. So I'm not going to bother explaining it to you. Get started and then jump in and understand that, and you're going to change your life financially if you're ready to do so. So our suggestion to you is redefine your future right now. So, you know, we're here, we're going around the globe. This is the pre-launch phase of this company. Your opportunity is right now to get involved. I appreciate you being with us here tonight. I appreciate your time and consideration for watching this, and get back with the person that invited you. And we'll look forward to talking to you next time we're on. Have a great night.